Welcome to the More Gems Show. I'm Steve Moriarty, your host, and with me tonight is Michael, who's not only running the show, he's also our chat moderator.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming tonight. Hope everybody's doing well, and good to see many of you that have been joining us for, 3 years now. This is episode 43, I believe, so we've had a few of them. So, yeah.
And this one's a little different.
It is, yes, a little bit different. Just because it is pre-recorded, so we're not here. We're on vacay, which is also the coupon code.
VACAY is the coupon code. And tonight, everything is 20% off. We're not here, so we increased the discount a little bit. As I was setting it up, it did make me feel like we were pushing the limits a little bit, giving 20% off these. But you'll get some good deals tonight, and there's some great stones that we've got to show you.
Well, that sounds good for them. Yeah, that's pretty 20%. We don't do that too often, huh?
No, typically 15%. And, we try and be competitive online with our prices as they are. So discounting significantly is difficult on us. But tonight, everything across the board, 20% off.
Right. So what that means is if you go to MoreGems.com, you click the green banner at the top of the page, you'll be able to see all the stones that we're going to show tonight. So they should all be there. They should all be live right now. So just like in shows past, you can go on there. And Jeffrey's not here to mention all the
important stuff that he does. Yes. Now you're going to have to do it,
I think
Michael.
It'll be self-explanatory. You can use credit card, PayPal. There's some other financing options. I don't know. They forget what they used regularly. To be called.
Yeah, I don't know if they've changed again. We try and find the best deals and where we can get you the most time for the least money. So I know Jeffrey's been working on it, but he's in Cabo now.
Yes. So, well, he's probably having a good old time out there.
I hope so. Better than you had in Cabo, I hope.
Did I go to Cabo? I guess.
And wasn't that where you got sick?
Yeah, I guess that was Cabo, wasn't it? I can't ever remember. I got so sick that maybe it blanked out my mind. That's okay. It was still a fun time. But yeah, so he's having a good time out there. We're here. Well, I guess when you're watching it, we're not here.
Yeah, and we both Jeff and I will be there to moderate the chat when it does go live, which is next Wednesday.
Well, it's live right now. Everybody's watching.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, this is difficult. It's our first pre-recorded, so we'll make a lot of errors. Hopefully Michael can cut a few of them out.
Yes. Yeah. We'll figure it out. But yeah, it's same layout, same thing. We're adding a couple of different things. We're going to show you some stuff tonight that we don't normally get to show you just because it's not live, so I can add in a few other things. But also on top of that, since we are on vacation, if you do order tonight, they won't ship out until I believe it's maybe the 14th or 15th is when we get back. So there will be a little bit of a delay on that. So that plays a role, and you won't be able to call us tomorrow because we won't be here. So we won't be able to take any phone orders. So if you do see something that you like tonight, you're going to want to place the order online because, we won't be here till let me see if I can pull that up. Do you remember what day it is, Steve?
Is it the 13th?
I think we get back 13th. On the 13th.
Yeah.
So you can call us on the 13th if you want. But if there's something you really like, I'd purchase it now. So
okay. All right. Anything else we missed? You mentioned the green banner and and how to chat.
What's that? How to chat? Yeah, if you want to chat, so you're going to want to log into your Google account, or if you have a YouTube account, just log in there. You can hop on the chat. Usually, there's a bunch of people chatting. I don't know how tonight's going to go. Hopefully, there'll be people still chatting it up because Steve and Jeff are here, or at least hopefully, in the future sense of whatever today is, they will be there.
Yeah, we'll try and remember while we're on vacation. And
hopefully
not
future
partying
Jeff
too much.
Hi, future Steve. How you guys doing tonight? Let me know in chat.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, okay, enough of that. So should we get started?
Yeah, just one other well, a couple of things. Where's my don't have my book. Anyway, the prices you'll see tonight are
It's right in front of your monitor there.
oh, okay. Oh yeah.
I see it.
So what we use to produce the appraised price, or what's it listed as, Michael?
It is
Normal price, is this gem guide. The gem guide is, as it says, a market-driven independent pricing guide that gives wholesale prices. These are used by appraisers in the business, and it breaks down many stones and gives us a price based on the quality and the size of the stone. And what they do, they go around to the shows around the world, Tucson, and I'm not exactly sure how many shows they do, but they go around and they go up and they check prices at the shows, and that's how they produce this gem guide. They have recommended retail price, and so we use their recommendations and produce that regular price. The next price is our price online, which should be generally significantly less. And from there, we're 20% off with the coupon code VACAY tonight. The other thing I wanted to mention, we've talked about trying to get overseas and how expensive tickets are, and which they're still expensive, but I finally bit the bullet, and we're finally making another trip to Tanzania later this year. Finally get to use this passport again. It's been too many years since we've been there, so we'll see just what the situation is with Tanzanite. We'll go to the mines and shop in Arusha. Everything's changed there, where you have to deal through government offices, or at least buildings that are set up for trade. No longer be able to buy direct at the mines, but hopefully it brings all the dealers together, and we'll have a better options of finding more goods. So we'll see how it works out. All right, so let's get started, and hopefully tonight's a little shorter show because we won't be answering quite so many questions online. But to start with, we have one of the natural green tanzanites. So these are a new supply out of Tanzania that we've been showing you. I think we've had 3 or 4, maybe a few more than that, of these greens. And I bought a good-sized parcel of it, probably 30 stones. And this is one of the stones that I thought I was going to heat treat because I didn't think it would be quite as pretty color, but it really came out beautiful. And I'll show you what the heat treating has done. I had a small one. I just wanted to see what kind of color that we did get out of it. Can you get me on the, okay, where am I at? Oh, it stopped. That would explain it. Get the camera working here.
Technical difficulties already. Let me see if I can fix this.
You think shutting it off again, or?
Yeah, shut it off and turn it on one more time.
There you go. All right, here's the stone. I did a little modified emerald cut. I broke it down the back, 2 facets instead of 1 here in the middle. And it adds a little life to the stone, and a little more interest. And here's a little stone that I heat treated from material similar to this. So it's kind of a unique color. I would like to heat treat a bigger one just to see what it looks like, because I don't know, do we ever see this color in Tanzanite? I can't.
Not that I know
No,
of.
I don't.
It's something
Yeah.
totally different. The color, that blue is just, it seems like it's just something else, you know?
Yeah. I don't know what this would compare to. Sapphire, Montana Sapphire, maybe, or, but anyway, that's if you heat treat this material, you'll get more blue in it and kind of a unique color. So eventually I'll find a bigger one to heat treat and just see what it looks like. I know some of you out there are going, why would you heat treat it? I don't know, just because I'm curious, I guess. And I say I probably have 30 pieces of rough, and I have some smaller ones that maybe I'll cut carrot stone and heat treat it. This one here, I just quickly cut it, and it's not cut at quite the right angles. Might make nice accent stone. It's a 90 pointer, but kind of a unique color.
Yeah, but future Eileen's out there commenting right now. Don't heat that. Keep it. Stay away from the oven, Steve.
Yeah, she's not the only one. So this green Tanzanite appraised value of $2,560, online price $1,540. With the 20% off, it's $1,232. So it's $481 a carat. Which, having seen what's happened with these, I'm sure this one's gonna sell fairly quickly. Yeah, good looking stone. So, all right, and here is that's what the rough looks like. So, and that should cut a 2-3 carat.
And it looks like, the different axes have different, more pleasing colors. Have you chosen to cut down a certain axis, or are you still looking
I've
for
been trying to get some of that blue. I'm not sure. The axis, I'm sure, affects it. I'm not sure if there is a bad axis, but definitely try and hit that blue. But if you just don't have a choice, you cut whatever is going to get you a decent yield. So, having not cut much of this, it's going to take a while to figure it out. All right, up next. Oh, that's next? Huh, I'm out of order here. Well, here's a big guy. I didn't cut it, but I couldn't pass it up because it's such a cool color. Is that it's not quite that screen. Blue. It's more, I don't know, it's like somewhere between these two. It's kind of blue-green. I don't know what that color is. It's really an intense, beautiful color. It's just a tough color to capture completely. That's close, but not sure. It's a little different than that, but it's every bit as beautiful as that, and maybe even more, because I think there's a little green to it, maybe. But very attractive stone, big stone, 90, almost 100 carat. We just rounded up to 100 carat, and so it's I don't know if it's the biggest blue topaz I've had. I mean, topaz, it comes in pretty big crystals. So,
not the natural color Brazilian one.
Yeah, yes, this color, it's maybe the biggest I've owned, but. So 98 carats, this material is irradiated to create this color, probably by cyclotron is probably what creates this. So no residual radiation from it, unlike the London blue topaz, which you have to store for 6 months just to wait for the residual radiation to disappear.
Steve, you want to show that one I guess.
We didn't do.
Oh, the hand. Yeah, yeah. Oh, the hand. Yeah, I guess you can try and show that one. That's a big guy.
That would be a big ring. But is it too big? So probably more likely as a pendant, but still good sized pendant. And we didn't show the last stone on the hand. While I have it out here. Oop. If I can keep the stone straight. Need a better light on this hand. But anyway. Okay, this 98 carat blue topaz, appraised value $4,440. $29.90 is our price online. $23.92 with the coupon code VACAY, which is $24 a carat. So just very, very pretty stone for inexpensive price per carat. Does add up when you have 100 of them. But quite an attractive stone. All right, our next stone is, see if I'm totally out of order here. Really a beautiful Tanzanite. You know, it gets a rating of 963, which is very high. It's just clean, well-cut stone, very, very brilliant. And significantly to the blue, about 65% blue, 35% violet. It shows a little more violet here, but our setting is on a setting that shows them as more violet. This is probably what you'll see in incandescent, and then it's going to change to the blue that you see pictured on the website. So it does have a color change, as they all do. It's not a color change, it's just a color shift.
And Steve, I think Chris was going to go ahead and design a piece around that tonight, actually, while we wait. So during the show, Chris plans on creating a jewelry design for this actual stone. So let me call him over and we can introduce
cool.
Chris here. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, Chris is our designer and has been our designer for how many years, Chris? 23 years.
Yeah, you can go either there or you want to hop over in this camera. Come over here.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, good to have you with us. So you're going to be designing for this stone?
Yes. I'm going to try to create a halo piece with possibly a split shank and maybe some blue zircon accents.
Okay,
Split.
Which we've done real well with that
Yeah, I like
combination.
the color combinations.
Yeah, it's one that works, and I even like it. And I don't like color combinations, but it is one of the most saleable things we have. When we produce a color combination, it's rare that it stays in the case.
The Tanzanite and Savorite is also another one.
That's
really
always
well
that's done well. So you're going to work on this tonight, and you're going to finish it while we're doing the show?
Yep, I'm even going to create a 3D printed model of the piece too.
Oh, that's cool. So we'll go through the whole process and see steps along the way?
Yep.
Cool. So Chris is my brother's son. Larry passed away, but Larry worked with me since, I don't know, 1983 or somewhere back then.
Yeah. Early 80s.
So Larry did a lot of the goldsmithing. He was a cutter. He started out as a cutter for me as I was on the road selling. Larry was the cutter back here at home, and he did all the cutting for quite a few years, and then he got into goldsmithing, and I quit on the road, and I started doing the cutting then, and although I cut, and I actually taught Larry to cut. So, but anyway, Larry was just a fabulous cutter, and Chris is really a fabulous designer. He's made some just beautiful, beautiful things for us and many of you out there. So good to have you with us tonight, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll be checking in and see how things work out for this stone. And this stone, if you decide to buy it, this design Chris is doing doesn't have to go with this. It's not a requirement because we can cut another stone for it, or he can alter the size to fit some other stone. So
easy to change.
Yeah, not like it's a waste of time or anything. But this stone really is a beauty. I mean, you can see some of the red flash in it now in this picture, and it really has fabulous color. That's why it gets that high rating. So the stone, $6,280. The appraised price is $11,625. With the 25% off, the stone is $540 a carat. So $5,024 total. So you got other questions for Chris? Or?
How long have you been doing it now, Chris?
I would say, probably 25 years. Started off on the bench. Started off hand carving waxes.
Which is amazing. The hand carving, it's just unbelievable the things that you made by hand. And just blows me away that we could actually, you could actually make diamond prongs and the stones actually fit in it, but he did a great job. And that was the first 20 years, not that long.
First 10 anyways, yeah.
Yeah. And then CAD came in. And how long you been doing CAD designs?
Since 2007.
2007. So, and life is easier, of course.
I don't know.
You've gone back a couple of times and hand carved some things.
Yeah. Sure.
It seems like torture to me, but and I've hand carved a few things. Margot just refixing the first ring I ever made, and I think I machined that, but it's not anything like what you do, and I can't do anything elaborate. It was the aqua piece. Yeah, that was milled, but yeah. So I understand how difficult it is, and I quit quickly after trying a few. Yeah.
You gotta have patience like me.
Yes. Well, and I do have patience. Cutting is something that takes a lot of patience, but I like to have the machine to help me, just like CAD. It's the machines do things that make life easier.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
Especially if you got to remake a piece or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Back when you're doing that, if
you
casting didn't come out,
right? If casting didn't come out,
you got to hand carve it again. Oh God. And that happened a few times.
Or more than a few. Yep.
And now you can reproduce it if we have a stone that fits it. You don't have to do anything. You just have to run the machine and cut another wax, which is cool. So, and the big thing is the placement of the prongs for stones. That's almost always near perfect, or
I think with Chris's jewelry background, working on the bench, that's really what you need in a designer. I mean, anybody can hop on the computer and they can design a piece, but without having the knowledge Chris has on the bench, being able to actually in the past set these things, he knows how they're supposed to be set and where the prongs need to be placed for the jeweler to set these without having too much issues. So that's, I think a big part of what Chris does too is the knowledge he has of being on the bench and actually knowing how these are going to be set to where it actually is going to become a wearable piece of jewelry that makes sense.
Yeah, and he understands the variables that you have to deal with to make a stone fit, because we've had some issues with other designers that don't quite totally understand what happens when you cast, and I don't know what are the other issues. There's factors that you have to.
A major issue is they're not trained as bench jewelers or even have enough of a background in jewelry manufacturing. They're just CAD modelers. So
Yeah, and they don't know where the prongs really have to be, and yeah. So, all right, cool.
Sweet. So we'll check
All right.
back in with you in a little bit, see where you're at.
all right,
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you, Chris.
good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's got in store for us. And
Me too.
yeah, we'll check back and see where he's at in a few stones.
So here's the Tanzanite rough that cuts a stone like this. As you can see, this requires heat treatment. The color's all there. It's blue, purple, and yellow that are there. And when you heat it, the yellow goes away, and we end up with just the blue and the purple, and you get a stone that looks like this, which this piece of rough is really an excellent piece of rough, and it'll be a great stone also. So up next is a Savorite garnet. This is a 1.58 carat. Let's see if I can. Here's a piece of Savorite garnet rough. Next to this Savorite garnet. This is a really beautiful color. Much more similar to what's online than what is showing here. This green, as we've said before, you have to change the settings on the camera to get the green closer, but we never can get the greens exactly right. But this is really an exceptional stone. Let's see if I can light up that piece of rough. So you can see the green that's in that piece of rough. So this Savorite weighs 1.58 carats, appraised value of $3,790. $2,440 is our price online. With the 20% off, it's $1,952, which is $1,235 a carat. If I can. Give you an idea of the size. So this next trip we're taking, I'm debating whether we're going to go into Kenya or not. Voi is the place where a lot of the Savorite is from. Savorite comes both from Tanzania and Kenya, and Voi is a 4-hour trip away, so still debating whether I want to deal with that or not. But our primary interest is Tanzanite, and Tanzania has many stones available within the country there, as you've seen. How many stones we've got from Tanzania, garnets and Tanzanite, of course, Savorites, the Maralani mint garnets, pretty much, just a huge variety. Sapphires, there's hard to pick a stone that doesn't come from Tanzania. All right, and our next gem is, you want to tell us about this stone, Mike, and your video?
Sure, yes. So this one is one of my recent stones that I cut. I actually cut it from a Tanzanite crystal that I had. I know, I cut up one of my crystals.
Yes, the sin. What was the video that you did? What was it
I
called?
put it on Imager. So I just kind of went through the whole process, just discussed what I was doing and why I decided to cut that crystal, just because it hadn't sold and it had a super clean just termination that I figured, well, I haven't sold this piece, so let's go ahead and try and cut it and see what I can turn it into. So I did, and I think it came out really nice. It's just a really pretty looking stone. It's a Portuguese cut. There was some inclusions that I had to cut out, and I don't remember what the original crystal weighed, but it's definitely a fraction of the size it used to be. But still,
But
I think it was totally
greater
worth it.
value than what you had as
Oh,
a
for
crystal,
sure.
by significantly,
Yes,
So,
yeah.
and that's why we cut him up occasionally. And he's got another piece that I'm trying to talk him into.
Yes, that
Cutting
one will
up.
be cool. He keeps talking to me about it, and I keep thinking about it.
Don't say
and-
what it is. Somebody will want to buy it.
Yeah, I think I could. Yeah, if you want to save this piece, it's a
No,
giant aquamarine.
I don't think you should save it. I think you should. I mean, it's a no-brainer in my mind.
All right.
Have to look, see if it's totally clean, but I think it's a mistake not
look
to
at
cut
Steve.
it.
He's disappointed I mentioned it. Well, it might not be online. I don't know. He'll probably talk me out of it, so I'm going to pull it off online. So don't think it's going to be available, but it may be available cut on one of these shows coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know what did you estimate the yield that it's going to cut? It was a big stone.
Okay. I guess we have time to take it offline so we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
I was going to say somebody jump over there and buy it immediately. But
Oh yeah, it won't be available.
it's a big
It won't-
aqua. And I mean, like 100 carat?
Yeah, because right now I forget how big it is, but
Yeah. I mean, it could be 100 carat. It could be a Portuguese round like this
that would be pretty sweet.
in an aqua.
And the
I
color
Jesus, 8,000 or 20,000,
Yeah.
We'll be looking at it a little closer this week. And,
Right. So
if it's clean, it's off the market because that's it's a no-brainer to me.
yeah. And after seeing this, and I've had that crystal now for a couple of years and haven't really had any bites on it. So, I mean, the price is higher because of the gem material that's in it. But since it hasn't sold, I mean, that's what's kind of pushed me over the edge to go ahead and start cutting it.
Yeah. And
Same with this one.
if it cuts better color than, it's on the light side, but it's kind of blue-green. And I'm thinking maybe it'll cut better than we think.
Yeah.
And could be
Well,
worth even more than that. I don't know. It'd be hard to sell, but at that price, but maybe, I don't know.
it'll be cool. Make a cool video anyways.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, but back to this stone. This is a
Yes.
great stone. The Portuguese cut, of course, is our best-selling cut. And this is just a unique color for Tanzanite. It's mostly violet. What's the percentage? 15% blue and 85% violet. But just a unique color and just a beautiful, beautiful gem. And Michael, as I tell him, he's more accurate than I am. He takes a lot of time. He'll have
I'm new.
well, but you want to be extremely accurate. I want to be accurate too, but sometimes there's a limit when you're dealing with time and just how perfect you can be. But I won't say your stone's perfect, but man, it is really, really, really good.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it's perfect
Well,
either.
I haven't looked at the whole thing close enough.
I mean, I try, but
Yeah.
my main thing is I don't want to be cutting off more than I need to because I'm so new that I'm still getting used to the machine, how everything works, and what's going to happen when, and it's all. I'm getting used to it, but it's still I'm still learning. So,
Yeah.
but the joy that you see when a finished stone, it's just. You're excited once it's done. You're like, I wonder what this one's going to look like. But I was really happy with this one, so I hope you guys like it too.
So this is a 2.92 carat. The normal price is $23.55. Our price online $16.06, and with the 20% off, it is $1,285. $440 a carat. Very fair price for a remarkable gem. Good job, Mike.
Thanks. You want to show that one on the hand?
Yeah. So just a nice size stone for a ring, and the sparkle is just second to none for sure. It's just the right depth of color that you get so much brilliance out of it. Whoop. Sorry, Mike. We'll find it later. All right, next stone. Did I have? I did have. Yeah, I was going to show this. Well, although this was in the, you people have seen it many times, but this is the same situation with Mike's. Is a natural crystal that you could. I don't know. This one's perfect enough. Well, it's pretty good natural crystal. A little bit of damage on it, but this is one I'm going to cut eventually. I've been talking about it for years. Just a big job and a lot of decisions, but it's a huge piece.
Just let everybody, that is a Tanzanite for those who don't know.
Yeah,
I know we changed to Ametrine, but Ametrine rough, you'll find that size, but Tanzanite rough, not as often.
Yeah, I don't remember what this weighs, but it's a couple of 100 plus. So that was my story to go with your crystal that you cut. What was the name of your video on that? It was something about.
Oh yeah, it was so they have like a day in the life is something. So I tried to get a little clickbait going on. A day in the life is a crystal destroyer. So, but
not everybody's going to laugh about that out there.
But. No, yeah. Some people give you a hard time, and that's what I was kind of playing off of. But I do have a lot of crystals for sale. I mean, I'm into crystals too. I love them. So that's why sometimes I have a hard time, but other times, I'm sitting on a piece and it's not necessarily perfect. There's damage to it. There's better specimens out there. That's why I decided to cut that one. So,
yeah,
I won't miss that one.
We're going to get you to the dark side here.
I know. Yeah.
All right. The next one is an Ametrine. This Ametrine is cut from a blended piece of Ametrine like this. And so I take this blended piece and try and keep the color separate, because if you cut this kind of piece incorrectly, it just mixes it and you just get a brownish purple color rather than having a good mix, because it comes in the rough two different ways. It comes blended and it comes like this, where you cut an emerald cut typically and you'll get a bicolor stone out of this. So I do like the blended for something different. This is what I got out of a blended piece. So you do get both colors, get both the blue and the purple, and they're not mixed too much, but just makes a unique look. This kite it's a step cut kite shape that I did, and I think it really came out nice. I've bought several pieces blended, and hopefully they all come out as good as this one did. This one weighs 16.87 carats, and the appraised price is $1,520. Our sale price online, $928. And with the coupon code VACAY, 20% off gets it to you at $742, $44 a carat. Just really, really pretty stone. A unique gem for sure. Oh, sure. Maybe. It's hard to get these facing right. Give you an idea. And then good size for either. This material is from Bolivia, natural, untreated material. just cool material that I've always thought was just underpriced because it's the only source in the world. And for something so unique, why it doesn't bring more money, I'm not sure. So, all right, next stone up is another Tanzanite.
And before you get too far, I just want to remind everybody, for anybody who's just joining us, that all these stones tonight are listed on MoreGems.com. You just have to go to our website, and then you'll click the green banner at the top of the page. There should be another picture banner that you can click on too, and that will also take you to these stones. My camera, there we go.
Yeah, your color just kind of went off.
Weird. But these stones will all be there, and then in that group, if you go to checkout, just use coupon code VACAY, and it'll take 20% off the listed price. So yeah.
All right, and just a reminder that this is a pre-recorded show, our first and only pre-recorded. We'll try not to do this very often, but just because vacation hits the time that we do this show, that's why we're pre-recording. This next Tanzanite is unique. We've had many naturals, but this is a natural color and just really a remarkable color. It gets a grading of 980 out of 1,000. And weighs 18.37 carat. Another step cut. And it really, really came out beautifully. The appraised price on this, $22,940. Our online price, $13,320. And with the 20% off, it is $10,656, which is $565 a carat, which for a gem of this caliber is remarkably inexpensive. This is just almost as good as it gets.
And it looks like this one is an all blue stone, almost. Your percentage.
Yeah, it's about as close to all blue as they get. Yeah,
there are some people out there that they want a blue Tanzanite.
Yes.
So this is probably one of those. Huh?
Yeah, I've never rated one 96. I put 4% in there because I know there's some purple in there somewhere. So, but it is mostly blue. And I just looked at another company that was promoting Tanzanite, and this stone would fit their idea of Tanzanite because they're saying the more blue the better. I have some agreement and some disagreement with that, because most of the stones that are all blue are not that attractive. You get stones like this that are remarkably beautiful in all blue, but there are, particularly in smaller stones, the all blue ones just they lack a good color and incandescent light. But this is one of those stones that I would agree with them that it is about as fine as you get, but still the whole business is built on a mix of blue and violet. So to try and say that Tanzanite, the best ones are all blue is questionable in my estimation. Sometimes you get a all blue one that is fantastic, but so many other stones with the mix of blue and violet, whether it's, most of the stones I see that are the best, are equal mix of blue and violet, or a little more violet than blue. Because that's what most of the stones that are produced are, and Tanzanite was not built on all blue because it is such a low percentage of them that are all blue, and even a lower percentage that are all blue that are beautiful stones. So, but this is one of them, and it's a natural, natural unheated, which makes this a really rare gem. And here is a natural beside it. That's a natural piece of rough that will produce another stone that is completely natural. You know, more violet in that stone, but really a remarkably beautiful gem.
And now, before we move on to the next stone, you want to check back in with Chris, see how he's doing?
All right, let's check in with Chris.
Yeah, and maybe I'll fix my camera.
Maybe. Yeah. You're
All right,
looking a
let's go
little
see what
green
Chris
there.
is doing. So, we came back to Chris's office. So, what's up, Chris? How's it going?
Pretty good.
So, you want to show everybody what kind of how you're using the CAD software to design this Tanzanite ring, right?
Yes. I'm going to make a halo with a split shank. The first thing to do is to get the stone into the program in the proper dimensions, and then bring up your ring rail with the finger size, because everything's going to be based off that ring rail and that finger size. And then you go from there. I'll create the halo. What's great about this program is if I use it properly, everything I create, if I follow the steps correctly, can be automatically updated, meaning if I wanted to put a round stone or an oval stone in this mounting that now has a cushion in it, everything will update automatically. So that saves you a lot of time.
Very cool. So you're going to continue working on this, and then we'll check back later?
Yep.
That was pretty cool, Chris. Looking forward to seeing the finished piece. So up next is a citrine cut by Linda. This is an 11.76 carat Portuguese round. Linda loves cutting Portuguese, and we love having them because they make such a beautiful stone. This material, this is Madeira citrine, a little deeper than most that we've cut, and deeper color than I typically see in citrine. I think we bought this a couple of years ago, at least. Yeah, probably longer than that ago. Yeah, but this color, that's the only time I've seen it in quite a few years. Just a beautiful color, beautiful brilliance. This is rough that it comes from. I think this piece of rough was even a little bit darker, but that's the type of material that it's cut from. And they're quite often crystal tips, as this one is. So just beautiful Portuguese cut by Linda. The price on this stone, price of $850. $530 is our price online. With the 20% off, it's $424, which comes out to $36 a carat. This material, I'm sure, comes from Brazil.
And this material, originally it starts as amethysts, and then they heat it to get this citrine color. Natural citrine from the earth usually won't be this depth of color. Although this, the Bolivian Ametrine, I don't think you get this deep of color, but it is natural citrine from Bolivia. But rare instances, and this is definitely heated, but very accepted in the trade.
Yeah, we wouldn't have much citrine without heating this. I wonder if our Bahia material heats. I have seen Bahia citrine lately. I have to figure out how this heats and try one.
You heated a piece to try and lighten it. I don't know if you have to go higher temp to get to the...
I don't know what exactly it takes.
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard that they just...
I've lightened a citrine before, but it wasn't that high a temperature. So I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, somebody once told me, I talked to some guy that they just dig a hole in the sand and build a fire over the top of it. And I don't know how true that is, but
yeah,
the little gem tale I heard from somebody.
It's like the tales of Tanzanite and lightning strikes, or which I can't imagine that's true, or fire in the plains and heated it and turned it blue. Who knows? But a lovely citrine for $424 using the coupon code VACAY, VACAY. The next gem is a Tourmaline. It's our only crystal of the bunch. And this I've kind of been setting on for another 3 or 4 years, at least. Because this is a remarkably clean crystal. It's rare that you find the bicolors, tricolors that are clean, particularly all the way through the material. And this, other than some surface fractures, which are so common in this material, when you cut them, you just cut quickly through those fractures and get down to the clean material. So this one could be cut, but it is particularly special and valuable because it has a twin. These twin crystals, it's what crystal collectors find desirable. More than one crystal in a cluster is more desirable for sure. So cutting this one would kind of be a sin. Particularly something as clean as it is. And here's this is what you cut out of them. And as you can see in this cut crystal, the green end of it has some inclusions, and it's just so very common in this material that you just don't get them clean throughout. So this is really a rare specimen. And that crystal weighs 23.34 carats. It's a little over an inch long. Would make a wonderful pendant. The appraised price, well, I don't have an appraised price on the crystal, but the online price is $29.90. With 20% off, it's $2,392 or $102 a carat. Just a really unique crystal. Particularly the clarity of it is special. And we're assuming this one's Brazil. Yeah, because he was Brazilian. It's you remember the name of the mine? It's Redondo or something. Yeah, because back in the early 90s, maybe, they hit a huge pocket of it, and this material was everywhere in Tucson. And I first saw it at the Denver show, and then in Tucson, and it lasted for a couple of years, and then it was pretty much gone. Before that, the only source I had was Pala in California, which I think they still produce some, but very, very limited production. Sure. I need a white neck. Guess I have a white neck, but it's a great pendant. Michael wears one. His was a little bigger to start with, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was working in the shop. I'm not wearing it now. I actually got a new chain, so didn't quite fit my old pendant, but I was wearing the Tourmaline in the shop, and I was using my flex shaft, which is like a rotary tool, and the ring I was working on got caught, threw it against my chest, and pretty much snapped the crystal in half. I was a little disappointed, so
Yeah.
I took it out, and I just wore a little bit shorter of a Tourmaline crystal. It was what it was, but that happens.
Yeah, it's sad when it does.
So, anyways, yeah, speaking of the shop, Steve, you want to go ahead and go in and show our viewers what our shop is like and where we do make the jewelry?
Yeah, we make most everything here. Not all of it, but we do manufacture and set everything right here in our shop. So yeah, let's go take a look.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look into our shop. So if you come this way, Steve's got the camera right now, so he's recording. And here's Alice. Alice takes care of all the orders. I'm sure many of you have talked to Alice, so she's working on that stuff now. So yeah, let's go into the shop, Steve. All right, hey guys, we are streaming right now. Everybody, this is LD, Z, and Margot. These are our jewelers, and they are the ones that work on a lot of your jewelry that has been made. So right now, LD, what do you got? What are you working on?
Setting this garnet pendant.
So, all right, so she's got a garnet pendant here. So this one is done by Christopher Michael. You can see that it's got a nice rhodolite garnet here. That was cut by Steve, and that'll just plop right in there. So it looks like they've got the mounting all finished up. Got a nice design. So LD will probably start with the diamonds, and then she'll set the rhodolite after. But yeah, everything that you see on our site that's made, it's done right here in the shop. So we don't send a whole lot of things out. Everything's pretty much done right here. So yeah, let's get back to the show then.
Well, that's our shop, and we're so proud of what they do. Michael is the manager of the shop, and he's also an incredible goldsmith himself. So our next stone is another Tanzanite. This is a Portuguese round. We've got a few Portuguese round tonight. We much like that cut. And this one, truly a remarkable stone. You know, I think this one actually made a show in the past. Not sure why it didn't sell, because this is such an incredible gem. You know, this is a rating of 970 out of 1,000, which in general is about as high as we get. I'm not sure why it didn't even get higher than that. Its clarity, it's probably undergraded at that, you know, because this is really an exceptional gem. Color, clarity, the cut of the stone, all are just remarkable. You know, and just look at the brilliance of it. I mean, this stone is 100% brilliant. You know, and that's what you get out of the Portuguese cut. You know, it's 161 facets and just does a great job with all materials. You know, as long as they're not too dark, they just give such scintillation and sparkle with the Portuguese cut. This particular gem weighs 10.67 carats. The normal price on it, $14,400. Our online price of $7,415. With the 20% off, this particular gem is $5,932, and it's $555. 555.
You know who would like that, right?
Yeah, Steve would like that. You know, 555 in Thai is ha ha ha. Yeah, so just the inside joke. Yeah.
So, yeah, Portuguese cuts, they're just something else. I'm just curious what the chat thinks of them. Does anybody own one or want to own them?
Yeah.
Is there, I guess, what's your thought on them? Because we apparently love them. And I mean,
Well, it's hard not to love something that sells. I mean, it's so rare that we ever have a Portuguese cut last any time at all.
right. And I'm guessing that This one, it just takes a particular customer just because of the size of the Tanzanite.
Yeah, the price. You know, a little slower selling just because of the higher price. But
Yeah.
you know,
But looking at it honestly in person, I mean, that video looks great, but you see it in person and it's better. You know, I mean, it's just it's a really nice stone, and that one goes from violet to blue pretty well, right?
yeah, it's a pretty good change. You know,
I know
which we find interesting.
Right.
You know, occasionally you'll see a Tanzanite that does a complete change, blue to purple. You know, I remember one or two, but this has that effect, and you know, and that's what I find unique. And when you talk about the all blue ones, you know, that's something they don't do. An all blue stone, it's blue. You know, and whereas a Tanzanite like this, when you go to different lights, you get that shift of color, which I find unique. You know. Let's see. Whoop, it must have gone off. There we go. And like you say, even the camera cannot do this stone justice, even though it looks great there. It's in person such a beautiful gem. Doesn't look bad. Let's see. So I'm assuming I cut this one. Yeah, I'm sure I did. All right, Portuguese round Tanzanite. So hopefully on this trip we're going to find some good Tanzanite, although, you know, it's limited what you find in rough there, and hopefully we can find some good cutters there too. Mm-hmm. Get that. There we go. So make a good ring size. You know, the thing you keep in mind, they are a deeper cut, so Portuguese is going to sit up a little higher than other cuts. Although this one for Portuguese is not particularly deep. You know, I'm sure I cut the angles a little shallower just to suit the rough. Next stone up is a sapphire. This comes from Madagascar, which hopefully one day we'll be able to make a trip to Madagascar, Michael. Absolutely my favorite country.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I've seen the videos, and you know, it looks like you've had a good time over there. And,
Yeah,
you know,
well,
share some good memories.
Yep, had a good traveling companion, Jim Fiebig. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but we had 20 good years of travel, and mostly to Madagascar. We both loved it, and you know, there was such a wide variety of gems available there, and you know, you couldn't spend a lot of money. There wasn't a lot of it available at any one time, but what you found was unique, and you never knew what you were going to find because they pretty much produce almost every gem, you know, no Tanzanite, but pretty much everything else. And
Jim, he loved it so much he actually moved out there.
Yeah, he tried to move there and took his wife, which was unbelievable that she wasn't the type to travel like that or want to live in a country that, you know, that it wasn't a lot of yeah, I can't come up with the words, but it's not a lot of luxuries available there. You know, when we started going there, it was pretty much an unknown place. I'd only known a few people that had ever been there. and you talk Madagascar, and they go, oh, where is that? You know, it's a big island off the south of Africa, and, you know, but it was just a unique place to go to, and you know, our first trip there, it's just remarkable. I mean, that was the only trip I had that I could have spent 10 times the money I had. You know, there was just so much available. But anyway, this is a sapphire from there, probably from Ilakaka, but I'm not positive on this stone. You know, this stone was cut in Sri Lanka, so it's had a long trip here. You know, the inclusions you see in it are very small, and as we've talked about, you know, with the camera and the lights, it's very difficult to hide inclusions, and what you see in person is much less dramatic than what you'll see in these cameras. Pretty stone, different color, different shape. You know, you could set this cross finger with the finger. Just make a really, really nice ring. And not a big stone, but you know, it's again, make a nice looking ring. Weighs 128. Normal price of $1,410. Sale price, or price online, is $890. With the 20% off, this stone is $714, or $556 a carat. And the next stone up is another Tanzanite. We've got quite a few Tanzanites tonight. Like to move some of them before we go on our trip. This one's a recut. I had Linda recut this stone. It had some issues and was in a bag for recutting. And, you know, it's not typically a size we recut because it's hard to profit from recutting them. There's a significant weight loss when you recut. So a stone this small, typically we don't do it. You know, it's just not enough profit in it. But this one had to cut it because it had some damage, and you know, and of course they come out great. You know, if I could profitably recut this size, we'd recut everything. You know, just because you get so much more brilliance when it's cut right, polished right. You know, what's cut overseas, well, you'll never get the accuracy of cut. You know, they tend to cut the crowns low, cut the pavilions deeper, you know, and their polish is typically not as good. So it's nice to see a smaller stone cut this well. So this would make a great engagement ring. You know, it just a real sparkler. You know, weighs 1.38 carats, measures 6.7 millimeters. And 6.7, you know, it's like, about the, you know, this is about the same as a carat and a third diamond as far as the millimeter size on it. You know, just fully brilliant. Linda did a really nice job on this stone. So it's a brilliant style pavilion. It's kind of Portuguese cut. You know, it's a 3-row Portuguese style pavilion and a step cut crown. Overseas cutters that typically do a Portuguese pavilion and then a brilliant style crown. But they don't get the brilliance this has because their crowns are just very flat. You know, the angles are very low, and you just don't get the amount of brilliance that you see in this stone. Did I go through the prices on this one, Mike? I don't think so. Okay. So appraised price, $1,170. $655 is our price online. $524. I guess I activated Alexa accidentally. Okay, sorry. I'm distracted. So the with 20% off, $524 is the price of this stone, or $380 a carat. Next stone up is a topaz. It's actually a match pair of topaz. This could go with the 100 carat stone. So just nicely cut. These are cut in Thailand. Just really well cut. And this is an all-step cut. So just excellent brilliance. They weigh 36 carats. And they're a really good match pair.
And that's 36 carats total weight, correct?
Yeah, so 18 carats a piece.
Yeah,
or thereabouts.
They definitely, when I saw them from the picture to in real life, they looked a little bit bigger than what I was thinking for a pair.
What was that?
Usually when I think of a pair of stones, I'm thinking small, like earrings.
Yes.
I saw those, and they're little.
Well,
they're probably earring size, but definitely bigger earrings.
Big drop earrings. Yeah, they make a statement for sure. Or pendant and ring. You know, you have a nice set. So 36 carats, the normal price is $1,800. Our price online, $1,390. And with the 20% off, this pair is $1,112. So it's $31 a carat. Sure. I was going to show them. Oop, didn't quite. Is that? Yeah. Well, there'd be a set. You know, 135 carats worth. Slight difference in color, but they blend real well, and just the size of the other one adds to its depth of color. Big ring, but not too big. You know, and they're not cut really deep, so it won't set too high. You know, but they're big stones.
And before moving on to the next one, should we check back in with Chris?
Sure.
See what we'll see where he's at.
Yeah, let's see what he's done.
All right, Chris, we're coming over to see you. All right, so we're back here with Chris in his office again. Chris, have you been coming along with the design?
Pretty good. I now have a halo around our center stone, which will feature 2mm diamonds. Now the next step would be to start working on the shank. I'm going to do a split shank. It's going to be a little bit different than a normal split shank, but I'm also considering putting some blue zircon accent stones in the split.
Yeah, cool.
But we'll see how that comes out, and then once I get the lines drawn, I'll be able to determine if I can fit a stone in there, and then we'll go from there.
Sweet. All right, so should we check back with you in just a few more minutes?
Yep, I should have something else for you.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's looking really good, Chris. That's going to end up being a great piece, I'm sure. So our next stone up is an opal. And this really is a beauty because it looks like some of the finest Australian opal. It has that milky body color and extraordinary colors within it. You know, it's if you told me it was Australian, I'd probably believe you. And it's not very hydrophane because, you know, you can take these and put it to your tongue and it's remarkably lacking hydrophane character, because some of these opals from Ethiopia, you stick them into your tongue and you could let them go and they would stick to your tongue just because they're trying to get the moisture out of your body, you know. But this one is remarkably lacking of hydrophane.
Can you lick that one more time? How's it taste, Steven? It
It's
tastes like rock?
delicious. It's delicious. I'm just, it is remarkable how lack of hydrophane character, you know, it is. I'm sure it is hydrophane, but just not very strongly hydrophane. They do vary significantly. You know, like I say, sometimes as soon as you touch them, you can just feel they're tacky, you know, just from trying to get the water out of your skin. But that's one beautiful opal. You know, an opal like this from Australia is just very expensive material. Yeah, just look at the colors and the intensity of color. It's just clean throughout the entire gem. Weighs 32.80 carats. You know, go back to that. And here's some of the rough. Won't cut that big, but this will cut a nice size stone. So that's another white piece, and this is actually a piece of black opal from Ethiopia. Not sure why I haven't cut this one yet, because it's a pretty nice chunk. And it's only recently we've started seeing some of these darker body colors coming from Ethiopia. But back to this one. This is a beauty. All white opal. That's about as white of body color as we see from them. Usually they're a little more crystalline. So if you want the look of Australian from Ethiopia at a much better price, this is a gem for you. Weighs 32.80 carats. Praise value of $5,120. $36.80 is our online price, and with the 20% off, this one is $29.44, so $90 a carat. Just really a remarkable opal.
And for those of you that are just joining us, you've probably heard me say this in the past, or you've never heard me say it before, but to shop all these stones that we're showing tonight, go to MoreGems.com, click the green banner at the top of the page. There's also probably, Jeffrey will put up a picture that's a clickable link as well that'll take you to all these stones. And like Steve said, use coupon code VACAY, V-A-C-A-Y, at checkout, and you'll get 20% off of the listed prices. So, yeah. And if you're enjoying this premiere of our streaming gem show, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it.
Big stone. You know, an opal has the advantage of it's not very dense, so you get a big look for its given weight. So probably a little more appropriate as a pendant. And safer as a pendant, for sure, because opal is not the toughest gem on the planet. But supposedly Wheelo opal is the toughest. You know, it has the concern of being hydrophane, so you have to be careful getting chemicals and oils and things on them, including hairsprays and perfumes. You're going to want to keep away from it. But other than that, they are a very tough opal. Will take more abuse than any other opal on the planet. So they say. Don't recommend testing that, but just know that when you wear it, it'll take more hits than other sources. And our next gem is an amethyst. This one was also cut by Linda. It's not a Portuguese. Linda loves cutting Portuguese, but I made her cut this hex, and she did a really great job with the hex. And the color is
Nice job, Linda.
really right. Just because it's, a lot of these opals or amethysts are just a little bit on the dark side, and so they don't show the life. When you do a great cut on this, you like to see some life out of it. And this was just the right color. It's deep enough to be a beautiful color that shows more than one color. When you go to different lights, you'll see more blue in certain lights and more violet in others. But this gem is fully brilliant. When you wear it, you're just going to see a very, very lively gem. I've had issues with some of them that I've cut, particularly some of the bigger ones, just being a little too dark and just not showing life. So this one's really right. It weighs 13.23 carats, hexagonal, comes from Bahia, Brazil. The appraised price of $1,320, $595 is our price online. And with the 20% off, it comes out to $476 or $36 a carat. So a size that definitely could be a ring or a pendant. Oop. Get it right. Gonna have to, there, that's better. Nice job, Linda. Oh, sure. You don't get that fingerprint. It's a little too far. There we go. Here's some amethyst rough. Big piece. A couple of big pieces. I think one of these is Rwanda and one is Bahia, Brazil. I think that was the purpose of having these, which they're pretty darn similar. That's the Rwanda material, and this is the Bahia, Brazil. What's Rwanda, when it came out, was just a hit in the market because it was such a beautiful color. And it's surprising that the Bahia material is very, very similar. Couple of big stones. I think they'll actually cut a good color, but this is, stones that cut 60, 70 carats. Next stone up is Maralani Mint Garnet. I just finished this stone. I'm quite happy with it. Difficult to get garnets in green this size. And again, a step cut. You know, it's just remarkable the brilliance that you get from garnet and from a step cut. Yeah, it's quite clean. There's a couple of little veils in it, but I don't think they're eye visible. I suppose you put bright enough light on them, you may see them, but just very, very happy with stone. 3.85 carat, almost 4 carat, which it's tough to get them that size. Appraise value on this is $8,470. Our online price of $49.55. With the 20% off, it's $39.64 or $1,030 a carat. So these are a byproduct of the Tanzanite mining. Is where they come from. Maralani or Moriarty is the town next to the mines, and that's where we'll be going on this next trip. The mines, they produce Savorite and this Maralani mint garnet, and of course Tanzanite. Oh, yes. Sorry. It's a really good ring size. I'm sure Chris could do a great job with this stone. And this is the rough. You can see the graphite that's with it. That's in the mines. When you go down the mines, it's just like the air is glittery from the graphite. I don't know if we'll do a mine excursion this trip. I've been down twice, and unless there's something down there exciting to see, I'm not going down this time. Just too much risk and no reward, other than a video of a hole. But hopefully we'll get there and they'll be finding stuff, because they go down 2,000-3,000 feet and having to climb out of that. There better be something down there for me to see this time. But that's a really beautiful gem. And hopefully we'll find more of this there. Very sporadic production. Sometimes no materials available in the world market, and other times there's quite a bit. But currently, very little material available.
So now, when you finished this gem, you said something to me. You said, "Man, we need to get into more garnet, just because you love how easy it is to polish."
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, do you want to talk about the machine that you cut that on, and
sure.
I guess the techniques that you use to get that polish for any cutters that are out there, watching in, or future cutters?
Yeah, you cutters or people who want to be cutters, I suppose your first machine, cutting a garnet would be the recommended thing to cut, because they are just so easy to polish in general. I've had difficulties with some, but when I did this one, it was just so remarkably easy. Unlike Tanzanite, which is a pain often, it's just tough to get a good polish on it, and, it just causes you problems all the time. But this one, I'd had no problems with it, and, it just it was just a few seconds to polish each facet, or more than that, but it was just remarkably quick. And this is all done on the Ultratech faceting machine that's back here. Both me and Michael have the Ultratech V5. And for the cutters out there, or cutters that are people that are interested in getting into cutting, it is the recommended machine. It's the only thing I would buy right now, because it's the best available. It's the best support. It's a company that will be around for a long time. They've been around 55 years, and they don't rely on cutting machines as their only income, and that's been the problem of almost all the machine manufacturers out there is they were only into faceting machines, and there's just not that much business in faceting machines. It's not like they sell 100,000 of them. They sell 500 a year or whatever. But Ultratech is a broad range of manufacturing. They do scientific equipment for other industries, so they're going to be around, and they're around to support you. And and that's been the problem with all the other machines I have. The companies go out of business, and how do you get parts? You don't get parts. So not only is this machine remarkably accurate, it'll make your life as a cutter easier. You just got to put the money up front. The machines currently are maybe $5,500 for this one. There is a lesser expensive machine, which has the same accuracy. But the Ultratech V5, definitely what I recommend. And, I've used it for years now. And if you look at the fine cutters in the business, a high percentage of them use the Ultratech V5. Yeah. Where was I? Did I get through the pricing on this stone? I think I did. Yeah. So, and we looked at the rough. Okay. Next stone up is another Tanzanite. Another one I just finished recently on this Ultratech V5.
So before you get too far into this one, let's go see where Chris is at with the design.
All right. I'm
for those
anxious
of you
to
who
see.
may have just joined in, or you're kind of fast forwarded ahead, Chris is designing a piece around, I think it was the third stone that we showed.
9
in the
carat,
show
30
tonight.
square cushion Tanzanite.
Yes. So he's working on that. So let's go head back over there and see where he's at.
All right, let's take a look.
And we're back here with Chris. Chris, what have you been working on?
Okay, so we have the anti-cushion Tanzanite. Well, it's not anti-cushion, the square cushion Tanzanite. We've made a halo piece with a split shank. I've also added some pear-shaped blue zircons to the center of that split in the shank, and then diamonds down the shank. And so now I guess I just need to render this out so we can see what it looks like finished.
Wow, Chris, that's really a work of art, as always. You've done a great job. So next, I guess we'll see a wax, and I'm anxious to see a finished piece. So up next is another Tanzanite, which we can make another fine piece out of. This is a stone I just finished, weighs 5.89 carats, kind of a unique oval shape. Yeah. It's not an oval. It's more oval. No. Oh, do I have the wrong one? Whoops. Got ahead of myself here.
Yeah, looks like
You're
a cushion
right.
to me.
It's
I was
a
wondering what
cushion.
shapes you're seeing here. Oval, okay, sure.
Well, he's not getting senile. All right, just get the right stone out. So 5.89 cushion, square cushion. Looks like our camera stopped again. So this one is, what is the color on this one? It's 30% blue and 70% violet. So this one's a little stronger to the violet, which I think is a real pretty combination. And very nice brilliance in this stone. So this one weighs 589. Measures about 11 millimeters on a side. The appraised price, $5,890. Our online price is $3,270. And with the 20% off using coupon code VACAY, this particular gem is $2,616. And that comes out to $444 a carat. So a really great gem for a good price. Nice size for a ring. Which you can set it on a diagonal, because it is square, or just square on a finger. This backwards working is always difficult for me. But make a really nice ring. All right, and our next stone is a blue zircon. This is a really very large blue zircon.
You sure that this one looks like a cushion?
Huh? You give me a hard time. This one's an oval. Big gem, just over 13 carats. And as always, blue zircon, just great brilliance. Tweezer, right? Just a little more green than what you see in the picture. It's really a top color. So praise price of $7,925. Our online price $4,950, and with the 20% off, it's $3,960 or $300 a carat. The big benefits of zircon, they're a good hard stone. They have extraordinary brilliance because of high refractive index, and just a beautiful color, just unique with a touch of green to it. Not quite as green as what the video shows. It's kind of a mix of the picture and the video. But if you've seen blue zircon, you appreciate the beauty that it has, and this is really a great one. Oh, I didn't do the hand. Somewhat of a deep cut, which is typical of blue zircon, so whether it's better as a pendant or not.
And I just want to remind those who are either catching this a little bit late or kind of fast forwarded through, this stream is not live. This is a pre-recording. we are on vacation this week. So if you do order a stone, we won't be able to ship it out till the 13th or 14th when we return. So if you do like a stone, make sure to go to MoreGems.com, click the green banner or the picture banner on the homepage, and that'll take you to all the stones shown tonight, and use coupon code VACAY for 20% off of all of the listed prices. Also, if you're enjoying the stream, be sure to give us a thumbs up or just leave us a comment. That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. So here's
Felt like I was on like a little voice recording.
here's a piece of rough. This particular piece of rough is from Malawi, whereas this zircon is from Cambodia. They both produce beautiful colors. Malawi is a new source just in the last several years. And for Malawi, this is a pretty big gem. You know, probably will cut 7, 8, 9 carats down. Both are heat treated. You know, these zircons typically start out as a brown color, much like Tanzanite, and you heat it and it drives off whatever the secondary color is. Could be yellow, but they definitely are strongly to the brown, and once you heat them, it gives you that beautiful blue color, which is completely stable from these sources. You know, definitely Malawi is 100% stable, and my experience with Cambodia is 100% stable. Experience with Tanzania is not 100% stable. They can fade under certain, or alter color under certain types of lights. It can be reversed. You know, if you happen to have a blue zircon that's kind of gone brownish, bluish, you know, sometimes the Tanzanian material will alter that way. And if you heat them up again, the color will come back to its beautiful blue color. Next stone up is an Ammolite. This is from our last year's trip to Montana and Canada. And just such remarkable color in this material. Get it cleaned off there. The iridescence it has, I mean, the colors are so dramatic that, you know, even Opal can't compete with the intensity of the colors in this material. This is really clean stone, you know, because these are fossilized shells. Ammonites are a 70 million year old, like kind of like a nautilus, the shell with tentacles. And when they die, they go to the bottom and are covered up, and the shells typically are crushed. So that's what that was, a crack that's there that healed over and was fossilized. But this is very, very clean for what typically you see in Ammolite. And just outstanding colors. Weighs 28.50 carats. We don't have a praise value on this. The pricing guides don't give us a value, but our online price is $470. This particular gem, little over about an inch wide and a little over an inch long. So a nice big appearance. And with the 20% off, this particular gem is, didn't follow through, $376 for this Ammolite. So it makes nice size pendant. And that's where you need to put these, because these aren't durable enough for rings. So fossilized ammonite, 70 million years old. Let's see. Next up is another Tanzanite. And this is another that is mostly blue. 95% blue, 5% violet. And it is a beautiful blue, just a sapphire blue. Which looks like it could use a table polish. I don't know if that's a... I'll look at that and see if the polish, it's a polish issue or just a lighting issue. Probably a polishing issue, but doing that, fixing the table is no problem. Not sure. But anyway, a beautiful gem. And whether it is a polishing issue, it's something I'll take care of. But the color is just remarkable on this stone. It weighs 8.27 carats. Praise price of $6,655. Our online price is $49.60. And with the 20% off, it is $3,968 or $480 a carat. Yeah. Yeah, it can make a good ring. Good pendant. It's just another one. If you're looking for blue, this is as blue as it gets. Next stone up is an Imperial zircon. This particular gem's from Mozambique. Just really, really a lovely color. Just a little bit of peach to this basically pinky, peachy orange. And the cuts. Again, I cut a Tanzanite earlier, or the green Tanzanite, with a similar kind of thing where it's a emerald cut and you just split the facets. This one I split the facets on both the sides and the end. And it just worked really, really well. It's called Imperial zircon because of its similarity to Imperial topaz. It weighs 5.93 carats. Praise value of $1,950. Our online price is $970, and with the 20% off, this particular gem is $776 or $131 a carat. Again, zircon's relatively hard and just very, very brilliant gem. And up next is our last Tanzanite.
So don't get into this one too far. Chris is just finishing up the waxes, so let's go back there and take a look at the, I guess, the grown wax, what it looks like in person, in hand, just out of the grower, actually.
Okay, cool. Cool. Love to see it. And
All right, we're back with Chris here. Where are we at, Chris?
I just got done growing the models. I'm going to take them off the printer. This is the B9 Creations printer. And I went ahead and drew 3 of them because I usually break one getting it off of there. Right now it's still kind of covered in the photopolymer. So what we'll do now is we'll rinse this with some isopropyl alcohol to get the excess polymer off, and then we'll cure them in a UV, and then they go in for casting. And there's the final model, fresh off the printer.
well, that's going to be a dramatic piece. Those blue zircons tucked under there are just going to be really a highlight for that Tanzanite, and all that diamond, and it's just going to sparkle like crazy. Going to be a great piece. Can't wait to see it. So if you like that piece, here's another Tanzanite that he could make a similar style to work with that. So once you see that done, if it's something you like, this Tanzanite could be made for that piece. Or if somebody buys that Tanzanite, we could easily make this stone in the piece Chris just designed, because he can alter it to fit pretty much most any size. You need a bigger stone, but it can be altered to fit most any shape and something of similar size. So this next Tanzanite I just finished recently. It's another one with dramatic red flash and just really, really nice brilliance.
Red flash, Jeffrey. Red flash future, Jeffrey. He's going to see it at me. What? I hope he watches. Sorry, Steve.
I know. And the joke about red flash is we don't talk about it much. I don't mind talking about it on this show, but I don't mention it otherwise because you don't get a lot of stones that have red flash. And once you start talking about it, that's all anybody wants. It's just a little highlight to the beauty of some Tanzanites. So this one kind of a unique shape, so you're going to get a different looking piece out of it than your standard oval. This nice lively stone weighs 6.15 carats. And it is 40% blue, 60% violet, which personally is kind of my preference for color, but we all like something different. So there's a Tanzanite to fit everybody's needs. This one weighs 6.15 carats. The normal price on it, or the appraised price, is $6,765. Our online price of $3,640, and with the 20% off, it brings it down to $2,912, $473 a carat. Far too cheap for a Tanzanite of this quality. But hopefully we're going to replace it on our next trip. And don't find that they're restricting even more the sale of Tanzanite, but we'll see. Find out more what's going on. But this is a real beauty, and no extra depth to it, so you get a big size for its weight. Again, a nice ring size. Our next stone is an opal. This one weighs 10 carat. Another nice white, slightly milky, but really it's almost classed as a crystal opal. You can see through it. I don't know, you could read through it, but you can see through it somewhat. Yeah, a little bit crystalline, but beautiful colors. Get the nice play of color throughout. Really nice dome on the piece. So it weighs 10 carat, just over 10 carat. Praise value of $1,200. Online price $920, and with the 20% off, this opal is $736. Comes out to $73 a carat. And here's another example of rough. Probably a little big for, but this is an interesting piece, that I'll probably never cut. We've seen it before if you are a steady watcher. This is a limb cast, meaning this was a root or a tree limb that had been buried. It decayed and left an impression in the ground, and it was filled by opal. So really beautiful opal, particularly for $73 a carat. And that's where, this is your...
Yeah, it's something I figured maybe that'll be on the show, but not in the show.
Oh, you're going to get it on the show.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oop. So this is needs to be cleaned off. Michael just finished this faceted opal. You think it finally dried out?
Possibly.
Yeah, looks good. Except you got some schmutz on the surface. Still some wax or some glue. Yeah.
It wasn't ready yet.
It was not ready for prime time. But anyway, yeah, there's some glue yet on the surface, but this may be ready for the show if he gets it cleaned up and photographed. So this may be on the show. Yeah. And we've done really well with faceted opals. So look forward to this stone on the show once he gets it cleaned up. I don't know what it ended up weighing, 3 carat or?
I think it was under 3. It might be like 2.7 after it's dried out.
Okay.
Maybe a little more. But
yeah, nice stone. Let's see. I finished this. I didn't show it on or anything, did I? So one that could be a ring, but again, opal's better as pendants. And pretty good size ring.
like you said, they're pretty durable too.
Yeah, they're pretty durable. Yeah. Our next stone is a spessartite. You know, this I bought recently from an estate. An old customer that had passed away. This is spessartite garnet, and really a beautiful specimen of spessartite garnet. You know, I don't know the source for sure. I did not sell it to her, but my guess is that it's from Nigeria. You know, it just has that typical color of Nigerian material of 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So nice size stone, 5 carat 11, appraised value of $3,830. Our online price $1,750, and with the 20 off, it's $1,400 or $274 a carat. Just really a great color. You know, nice cut, clean stone.
So spessartite garnet, does it often come this clean? I mean, this looks like a pretty clean gem.
Well, that a lot of the material like this, which is from Tanzania, they're just not as clean. You know, the Nigerian material used to come out pretty clean. You know, but this stone is, the rough piece is probably not going to cut totally clean. Yeah, I don't think it's a really perfect crystal.
You had one that was like two attached to each other? No.
I don't know.
Specimen somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's not it. But anyway, you know, this spessartite, really, really a beautiful gem, nicely cut and just very lively stone. And priced well under what the market price of good spessartite is like this. Because I just see very little production of this kind of color. It's another nice ring size and good durable stone that it'll hold up in a ring. Yeah, that's a nice gem. Next stone is another zircon, a nice interesting shape to it. I like it because when you set it in a ring, you know, no matter what you do with it, it just makes an interesting looking piece. Carrie's got a stone of similar shape of bicolor. It's probably longer, but yeah, there's a pretty combination. Yeah. Nice long emerald cut, clean stone. This particular gem weighs 3.38 carats. And a little more green like the online picture. If I were going to say that it's the real color is somewhere between the two. So appraised price on this of $1,590. Our online price $690. The 20 off with coupon code VACAY is $552 or $163 a carat. And that stone's from Cambodia. And the next gem is really a remarkable stone. This is one that was on a previous show, but deserved to come back because for what it is about as good as they get. Oop. Is that- This particular picture, of course, is greenstone, and we don't show green well, but it is significantly better than what you see on the picture. You know, the big issues with chrome tourmaline, and reason I don't usually cut them is because they're often a disappointment. They tend to look great in the rough, and they just cut overly dark. Whereas this stone is not overly dark at all, and just beautifully cut, and just for a chrome tourmaline, it really as good as it gets. Yes, they're a little expensive, but you know, you just don't often see them this size. You know, this is, if it was any other green stone like a Savorite, the Savorite would be 20, 30 grand. You know, emerald, of course, would be way up there. But this particular gem, appraised price of $13,010 or $13,100. Online price $99.95, and with the 20% off, it's $79.96 or $1,253 a carat. Really a great stone. You know, chrome tourmaline does not get better than this.
And it looks like you cut it too. So, how did you judge the rough? Were you a little nervous, thinking it was going to be too dark?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
We're as everything just doesn't cut like you hope, you know. But this one was a surprise. You know, they either cut too dark, or you know, things show up in them that you just couldn't see. You know, and it's just the nature of the material. And most of my friends that are cutters have quit cutting chrome tourmaline just because of those issues. You know, it's usually a disappointment. Yeah. But this one gives me hope that maybe we'll find some more material in Tanzania, which is the primary source for chrome tourmaline. There's reports that it's come from elsewhere, but for the most part, Tanzania is the only source for chrome tourmaline. So, definitely a special stone. Yeah. Let's see. So what else do we have there, Michael?
That was it.
We're done with Chris.
Yep, that was it. We've showed all the stones, and we would guess. Yeah, that was the last one. There are some. So for those of you, look, there are extra stones on there. So
there was.
I mean, this is not the only 25. There's, I don't know how many you got.
There's
Maybe
there's
30?
another 5 stones.
Okay.
You know, just things we thought would carry the show too long. There's another chrome tourmaline that I reduced the price on significantly. Beautiful pink spinel, 2-carat Montana sapphire. You know, and most of these have been on other shows. They just, you know, with the 20% off, I thought they'd be an incentive to buy, and they're just great stones. You know, somebody should own them all. You know, they're another amethyst and a purple garnet. You know, so you can see those online, and you know, they're also 20% off.
And just to remind you guys again, we are off this week So we'll be back on the 13th or 14th, I believe. So any orders that come through tonight or in the following few days, it will take a little bit longer to process this time just because we won't be here. So just remember that. But still, feel free to place the order. And yeah, when we get back, we'll ship it on out to you.
It's all right. This was a little different experience, but hopefully it works for all of us. All right, folks, remember, shop online at MoreGems.com. We want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to get alerts for when we go live. That's going to do it for us tonight. I'm Steve Moriarty. Keep on gemming.